Yeah, the boys round here drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Chew tobacco, chew tobacco, chew tobacco spit.
Hey guys, Monday. Love Mondays, my favorite day. So the whole reunion thing went really good. It was a lot of fun. I was talking with a couple of you guys. Case in point, Paul Hasman 440, and he's just like, "Oh, you should bring your video stuff over." I did bring my video stuff over, but I didn't end up recording anything because, as it turns out, my friend Bob had an agenda. Not only were we going to, get together, do a little barbecue, have a few adult beverages, but he also got the whole thing was the Ken Hansen project. Well, Ken Hansen was one of my friend Bob's mentors, his art teacher, and he actually managed to get Ken over. So we did the barbecue, and then Bob had already pre-planned a story, a movie that he actually wanted to make with all of us. So that's what we ended up doing. So eventually, I'm not exactly sure if this was my thoughts, and you can weigh in on it, yes or no. Maybe I won't waste my time, but I've got I think I've got 7 or 8 of our original movies that we made, going all the way back to the very first one actually is an 8mm that had no sound in it at all. And I was half thinking about maybe taking some of maybe a couple different segments so it doesn't get too long, and doing the best of the Ken Hansen project. And then I think the one that we did yesterday is going to be short enough that I might be able to put that up in its entirety, if you guys would actually like to see it. Otherwise, per Paul Hasman 440's request, at the end of this brew review, I will have a little slideshow presentation of the get together. Not quite a movie, but still. So yeah, let me know if I was to edit some of the stuff together, and I don't give a shit what you have to think, Chuck, but everybody else. What are we looking at? Gotta wonder if they were that big before she was doing the beer bong. We're gonna look at Newport Storm as a brewery. I should know these things, prior to Newport Storm Brewery. It's their India Point Ale. And I never did find alcohol percentage on this, so I guess we're gonna have to play the game. This was one from Tardisius, so he was nice enough to hook me up at the beer club, but has no control over what's in the bottle. Storm. Haven't used the Guinness one from William in a while. We are now. Yeah, it was pretty nice. The weather forecast for yesterday was actually shit, and it was kind of funny because a few of the scenes for said movie, we had to go out to a location and it was like by the time we got there, you could see that it had poured or something. But we were only in one place that it even rained for a little while. One of Bob's friends. It's neat how this shit all works out. Friends of his that we needed him to see. What originally happened is the premise of the movie is in search of Ken Hansen. We're trying to find Ken Hansen, and it was just assumed that Ken was never going to make it. So Bob has a friend that looks a little nothing like him, and his friend is him and his wife both do craft brews. They had something like, I don't know, 100+ gallons of various stuff, like 15 gallons of rhubarb wine, some raspberry wine, and he gave us he uses the big bottles, and he gave us some of his nut brown ale, and I have to say that was pretty good. I told him we need to. I guess there's some kind of an annual hookup where everybody gets together, and said I might take some of his stuff home and I'll do a review, and he liked that idea. So this is definitely not clear. Started off with some decent head. You do notice a little bit of citrus, but unlike most of them, this one has more of almost like a sweet caramel, like earthiness to it, like a floral earthiness. It actually smells pretty good. So, alrighty. So, cheers. You could get injured. That's all I'm going to say. It's like, definitely, definitely different than definitely different than your normal IPA. More of a, first it has like a medium light medium mouthfeel to it. You're getting like a citrus, and you notice that like charge of the citrus, but before you're even able to go, is it grapefruit? Is it pine? Comes a wave of almost that, again, that like floral, caramel, sweet, like earthiness to it. The middle, kind of a dry bitter, and this one kind of ends on more. There's like that bread biscuit is more towards the beginning, and the end has more of a dry bitter feel to it. Alcohol. I think this one might have something on the usuals lately, being in the 5 to 5.5. I kind of notice it a little bit, unlike the last one. I'm gonna say this guy is a 6, maybe even a little higher. 6 to 6.5. It's sometimes though it's like some of these are come in at like a 6.3 or a 6.7. It's like, okay, I guess it is what it is. That's the other thing. I'm not sure if it's like secret, so I won't mention their names. But she was telling me that her goal, she likes a little alcohol in her wines, and her goal is usually you know, like a 10 to 15%, but she says sometimes it goes over that. But yeah, their kitchen, they had the big plastic containers. I think they're using the water bottle style ones, you know, for the dump them upside down, and those ones. I think you had 4 of them in their kitchen, plus more elsewhere. A wireless collar. Crafty. Must be that modern technology stuff. But, whoa. 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 Guys.
Hi folks, sorry for the technical difficulty. As you can see, we're having a little trouble with the film right now. Bear with us, and we'll get you back to this exciting Ken Hansen Project feature in just a moment.
Get it, this one's shot, Liddy. Sorry for the technical problems. I think it was a reflection of the neighbor's satellite dish off the plate in my skull from Nam, and it somehow affected the camera. Where were we? I just want you guys to get your money's worth. Except for Chuck. Gives a shit about Chuck. God damn it. I mean, you know, the beer bong part. It's not like her breasts. I could really care less about those. Okay, where was I before the technical problems? In the middle of the technical problems, my brother-in-law, and that, you know, and then that Chuck, I mean, that is official. He gonna do a little bit of extra reloading for me. He does have a valid point, though. I mean, I knew this. You know, if you take those Alco bullets, put it in the Lapua brass, do the, you know, the AR-15, 42 and a half, 43 grains, find what, you know, works the best, what has the best pop, as John was saying, and then, I mean, then what do? You know? I guess if you live in the perfect world where you could afford to only shoot that kind of shit because that's the stuff that's going to be the most accurate, but you are talking, I mean, what's you're looking at over $2 every time you pull the trigger. I just ordered some Mosin Naganta brass, and that's almost a buck. $45 for 50 brass. Speaking of which, I don't want to have to deal with the shipping, so I'm sorry. So it kind of narrows it down to guys that are going to be here. But I'm just not feeling this whole surplus thing anymore. That Mosin has been dialed in, and me and Johnny, we could have circumcised a gnat with my brother-in-law's reloads, and that surplus stuff was a completely different story. So if anybody's going to be here for the shoot and you're hearing this, I have 880 rounds that I'd be willing to sell or parted as to the two 440 spam cans that are in there. Plus, I've got another 440 that I think right now has I think there's, be on the safe side, there's at least 400 rounds of that left. I might keep that on hand and just, guys just want to shoot for the fun of it. But my my Huber Concepts Mosin, that thing has gotten so dialed in and just runs like a clock when it's running on at least for precision with mic stuff. I almost really have no desire to do the spam stuff anymore. And after shooting the Huber Concepts, the Sporterd Mosin there, the Hex one is probably crying in its case. So, where were we here? Has a nice citrus, sweet caramel, floral beginning. Smile money. Kind of a little bit of a biscuit let off. Kind of a dry spot, and then right at the very end, you just kind of get a dry bitter finish. Kind of more of the manly part of the citrus there at the end. Some of them end really smooth, some of them really harsh. This one I wouldn't say it's harsh, but it's definitely not ultra smooth on the end. But again, you get all that flavor and stuff in there, and it's quite all right the way it ends. Definitely unique in its flavor. Still, almost I don't know if you'd call it a subtle, almost a vanilla in there too, like caramel vanilla at the beginning. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. So, on the E scale, where am I going to put the IPA from Newport Storm? Well, it's pretty damn good. I think I'm gonna give this a 9. I know, it's like never even heard of it before, but it's very tasty. On the list of, if you're hop curious, do I recommend this one? I don't think so. All of those flavors are more intense than most of them. That initial dry, bitter hit of even though it's coming with that sweetness and the citrus, I think if you're used to a really mellow beer, this one might be kind of a turn off. I might need to build up to it, I'm thinking. What should we look at tomorrow? I noticed from the bottle cap that was laying on the floor, there's actually something in it. I'm offering you my beer and you're offering me semantics. Now I almost want to find the other one and see what was written on that one. Oh, it's right on the top of the pile. Go figure. Oh, and it's something different. Beer behind the bed. I have no idea. Tomorrow, let's look at something from Great Lakes Brewing. High Striker Single. Handcrafted Belgian style ale from Cleveland, Ohio. Just right down there in the neck of the woods of Hasman 440. Pack full of punch, you guessed it. Ding, you're right on the target. 4.8%. Best served as cold as possible. BA Brew News. And yeah. Not saying I'm not gonna like it, but we got all sorts of stuff there in there. But I've just kind of come to the conclusion that I'm not exactly a huge Belgium fan, but still. So that would be better to actually see it in video, I think. You know, when she started off, maybe she was an A cup, and now that girl's got some. Seriously though, one of her boobs is bigger than her entire head. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying from. Get focus. Okay, so as promised, a bunch of pictures from yesterday's get together. It was a lot of fun. Doug, Jamie, Bob, Bob's son Nick. We've been pretty good friends over the years. I gave I'm going to start it off with the same thing I put up on Facebook, the 30-year picture. Yesterday and 30 years ago, the shirt, the Rodney Pincone shirt. I don't know what happened to the hat. I think the whore that I used to be married to, somehow something happened there, and I never saw it again, which really sucks because, first of all, if you ever see any of the close-ups of it, it's actually that belt around it is made out of beer tabs. You know, the ones that used to actually peel off, old school style. So take a look at the pictures. We'll see you tomorrow. Look at the Belgian now, and let me know if I was to. I don't know how many parts it would be. Probably so it's not too lengthy. 2, 3, 4. I don't know. I have to go through and find shit that I actually think is funny in the old movies. If you guys actually want to see that, I'd put it up. I'd put it up here. So, okay, guys. Again, thanks everybody. Cheers, and we will see you maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow, Christine gets a new vehicle, and it's not a piece of it's not a Ford. It's not a piece of shit. I really do. I mean, okay, so 1 minute we're leaving, and the next minute we move on to a Ford rant. As a follow-up, if you've made it this far and you got the initial Ford rant, long story short, the attorney offers them fair market value. I upped it by $5,000, and flat out, I got a return phone call because we're scheduling the re-rendezvous with Ford. I actually asked them what they were going to sell that for, and they told me that they'd probably never see more than $22,000. And I'm just like, well, I offered you quite a bit more than that, didn't I? But we don't negotiate. So fuck you, Ford. Too bad. On the other hand, the 2015 Escapes, very nice handling, lots of power, lots of room, lots of cool features. Not even the equivalent was that CRV that we test drove, the touring edition. Not even that one had a few of the features. There's things on the CRV that it had that the Escape doesn't have, but the sunroof on the CRV was your standard size. The one on the Escape is most of the top is in glass. The sunshade that you can close is motorized on the Escape, and you had to drag it shut on the CRV. So everybody's got to each their own. I got no complaints about the 2015 Ford Escape. Would I ever bought one in the first place if I didn't end up getting it because of Daddy? No. But after driving one for the last 7 months, it's fun. It's comfortable. It's great for long hauls and it's great for short trips. It's too bad that Ford Motor Corp is they don't negotiate. They told my attorney that they don't want to set a precedence, and he goes, "You don't want to set a precedence of actually working with people and acting human?" They didn't really have an answer for that. So Ford Motor Corp can stick it up their ass. They could have retained a happy customer for a long time and made over $3,000 more than they're ever going to see for it. Thanks, Honda. 40 tickets. See you tomorrow. Enjoy the pictures from yesterday.